Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Real Chill Conversations. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's weekend was wonderful. I know we are starting to gear up and get ourselves in the mindset of the new work week that starts tomorrow for many of us, which I think is fitting for our topic tonight, which is talking about financial freedom. And we're going to have some conversations about some ways that you can increase your wealth, increase your financial stability, and just, debunk some of the rumors, some of the things that we thought were true about money and finance and come to find out it's not necessarily the case. And also, just to let you guys know, it is never, ever, ever too late to get on board with trying to be financially healthy. So if you think, I'm such and such age, I'm too old, it don't matter now, my credit's messed up, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the case. You can take care of it, you can fix it, you can redeem it. We're going to talk about some tips and tricks to help get you there and just to encourage you to do your best. And
This is my kind of topic.
yes,
So I hope you
yes.
have some good tips for me.
Yes. So let's first of all let's start off with I think that growing up, I don't know how it was for you necessarily, but for me growing up, when it came to learning about finances and learning about money, that was not anything that was ever taught in school. Okay. We had home ec, we had cooking class, we had one other class. I don't even remember what it was, but it had nothing to do with finances. So everything that I learned about money and everything that I learned about finances, I learned from my parents. Both of my parents went to college. Both of my parents got degrees. Both of my parents um they bought a house, they held a mortgage before my sister and I were born. So they were doing all the things that they should have been doing financially from the start. When you decide to get married and have a family, have children and things like that, you want to put yourself in position to be able to enjoy your life and not just live paycheck to paycheck. They both got themselves into some really good careers, so they made good money. I'm not going to say we were, Fresh Prince of Beverly Hills type situation, but we definitely weren't a check to check type of situation. So I didn't really understood or knew what that meant until I had gotten out on my own and I moved out from underneath their home and had my own job and had my own bills to pay and my own rent to pay and my own car note and my own things to take care of for my child, that I started to learn those lessons. So I wanted to start off by number one. You had shared some news, and I didn't know if you wanted to go ahead and share it with our audience today. But you were taking, some steps to take some classes, and did you want to share what those classes were that you were taking?
Not yet.
Okay.
But yeah, so I am on my way to trying to build my wealth. Financial freedom. I think that was something that just not too long ago, I want to say like 5 years ago, I was on it. And I really wanted to explore other options than just
Yes.
working.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
I've been talking to you about this
Uh-huh.
for a while.
Yep.
But you are going to find out. But
Yep.
first, I want to be able to make sure that, I did everything right. And I would share that. Yeah. But not right
Well,
now.
I will be happy for you, and I'm sure our audience will be happy when you do
Brenda
decide
knows.
when you do decide to share that news. It's
But I'm
definitely
excited.
it's definitely something wonderful, and it is something exciting. And I'm just throwing that into the mix because we're on the topic of financial freedom. And so this fits right into that, but I'll leave that for you to share when you're ready. Everyone, just stay tuned and keep wishing Dominique our best because we know she's going to kick ass. She's going to knock it out the park. She's going to make an announcement, and we are all going to celebrate her and her wins. So, let's get back to
Thank
it.
you.
Let's get back to it. Talking about financial freedom, let's talk about financial literacy. Financial literacy is having a true understanding of what money is and what money does. Yes, we know we need money when we go to the mall and we go shopping, or we need money when we go to get our nails done,
Definitely.
or we need money when we're going to go out to eat, or we need money to put gas in the car, we need money to get our hair done, we need money to pay our bills. We need money for all of those essential things. But did we also know, and did we also have an understanding that having money can also work for you? Your money can work for you while you are off doing your 9 to 5 job, or you're off on your vacation visiting your nieces and your nephews and your other family members. Your money can be working for you if you are investing wisely, if you have an entrepreneur type mindset and you have a business that's running, the business is constantly running 24/7, especially with today's day and age and internet. You can always have something that's going on at any given of the day. I know there's plenty of times I've hopped on Amazon at 2:30 in the morning and was like, "Hey, yeah, I do need these candles. Let me go ahead and make this order." So so not only are we working for our money and getting our paycheck, but our money can actually work for us. And when we take steps to put money to the side for savings, if you want to call it a rainy day account, if you want to call it your college fund account for your kids, your vacation account, whatever it is, your first home account, your second home account, your vacation home account, your retirement account, whatever it is, we should all be putting money away. We should all be saving money. We should all be investing so that we're not just reliant on our paychecks. Because I don't know about you, but I don't plan to work until my boots are in the ground. Okay. I plan to exit my 9 to 5. I plan to retire from my 9 to 5, take that time and enjoy the next aspect of my life, which I envision that to be some grandchildren. I envision that to be some additional vacations and trips with my husband and traveling and going and doing and experiencing some things that I wasn't able to get done. When my kids were younger and we really couldn't travel like that because they had school, and B, because, work wouldn't just let me take off a random month to go travel around Europe and, eat good food and, enjoy the sights and all that good stuff. So we want to put ourselves in position where we can enjoy, the money that we're making. It shouldn't be a hassle, and it shouldn't be painful, and it shouldn't be a heartache, to think about going to work and to be making your money. You should be excited about it. You should feel blessed. You should feel grateful that you do have an opportunity to make money, but you don't have to stop at just being comfortable. A lot of us, yeah, we're fine with being comfortable, but there's others like Dominique and I, and many of you out there, I'm sure, that want more. You want to be more than just comfortable. You want to know that if something happens, not only can you take care of it, but you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to be panicked about it. You don't have to be worrying about, oh my gosh, if I have to take care of this, then that means I have to take care of that. We don't want to be borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. We want to get out of that mindset. So I think taking steps towards financial freedom, whether that's educating yourself and taking classes, whether that is going back to school and learning a new career, learning something that you can do while you currently have your 9 to 5 job. There's lots of different opportunities out there. And I know there's plenty of people that work regular 9 to 5 jobs and they have these contract positions where they work for these other companies making hundreds of dollars an hour, just doing some simple work for just a few hours a day and things like that. So we want to make sure that we put that out there. For those of you that are in the entrepreneur mindship, yes, there's a little more that's involved. Where you guys come in because there's money, it takes money to make money. So if you're an entrepreneur and let's say you want to have a clothing company, you need to have the finances in order to get your fabrics. You need to have your finances in order to have your clothing makers. You need to have your finances in order to do your promotions. You need to have your finances in order to put out your shows, and you need to have your finances in order so that you can ship your goods and your orders and things like that. So, depending on what avenue you decide that you want to go into or you want to break into in terms of adding to your financial freedom, you just need to make sure that you have the steps in place in order to do so. And there's so many classes, there's so many courses. I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn or utilize LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is a great resource for classes on getting into new careers, learning new trades, learning new aspects of trades, and things like that. Coursera is another good one. There's a lot of local colleges and a lot of business schools that offer classes in different trades, in different areas, in different markets, such as interior design or what do they call them now, landscape engineers, the people that come out and do your grass. Not only do they cut your grass, but they plant your flowers, they put your trees together, they make your nice little outlines and your hedges and do all that kind of stuff if you want a business like that. If you're into electronics, and you want to have a home business that's helping people get their businesses furnished with electronics, whether it's security surveillance, televisions, audio, things like that. There's a lot of different things out there that we can do and we can be doing either full time as our only job, or we can do it in addition to, the current job that we already have. What are your thoughts about financial freedom and the things that we could and the things that we should be doing in order to obtain it?
Okay, well, my thoughts on that is, especially you mentioned 9 to 5, and I feel like I fall into that category because for me, it has always been a job, keeping a job in the things that I love to do. And
Yep.
I try to stay in that realm just because I don't want to be overstressing myself in places where I don't really feel comfortable. So I always try to find, things that where a space where I can work in,
Yep.
that I will be okay.
Yep.
Because sometimes if we get into things that we don't really like to do, that could be very overwhelming and kind of like, you know, especially when you're getting older and you
Right.
are trying to build a foundation. Some things that I thought about while working a 9 to 5, except mine's is 10 to 7. But so all day, I'm at work most of the time. So I have to calculate my bills, make sure that I'm saving money to cover my bills. Either if it's like 3 to 6 months, I have started to make my plan. Um, Pay off debts. I've really been on top of that as well. Building, like I said, building an emergency fund, investing. Um, when I feel like when we do start to build financial security, what you want to do first is search for information. That's what I've been doing. search for a lot of information, or read books about it, that helps so much. And believe it or not, it's so much wealth behind marketing. And I have really got into that subject matter with a lot of people that I know, because I'm looking at the potential of how much it's like endless of money that you're able to make.
Right.
So I say if you're in a 9 to 5 job, yes, like use that time wisely to build your money and build opportunities, so you can have something else that you can do that'll make you money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that and want to say that I think that that is some excellent advice to come back to. A question I did want to have for you ask you is growing up, did your parents have conversations with you about money? Did they talk to you about finances? Or was that something that you had to learn once you got out of the house and had to start paying your own bills?
My mom did always tell me, like, you want to make sure your credit is good and
Yeah.
your credit is straight. I don't know how many times did she stress out to me, but we are young and crazy sometimes, and we just want to do what we want to do and learn the hard way out here. So, yeah, I had to learn the hard way, but I feel like um my mom worked very hard, and yes, she was one of those that was paycheck to paycheck. She had to actually go out and clean houses.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not an easy job, and she
Right.
still do it to this day. So she built a foundation off of that.
Right.
And good, by the grace of God, all her clients love her to death.
Yeah.
So she's always had a job in that. She was not so fortunate to be wealthy, you know what I'm saying? But she
Right.
do have her stuff together.
Right.
And
Right.
um yeah, like you would never know. She's a working woman.
I believe it. I believe it. And seeing your work ethic and how hard you work and how committed you are to putting yourself in another position and being on your road to financial freedom. I feel like it's something that, it has always been in you, but I feel like a part of that you probably got from your mom and watching your mom and then hearing her have her conversations with you, about credit and things like that. Same thing with me. I mean, my parents talked to me about money, talked to me about credit cards and talked to me about credit and having good credit and how important it was. And it definitely was important and came in handy when it was time for me to get my first car and buy my first car and and that type of thing. But one of the things that I have been seeing and I've been noticing a lot lately is that um being in the corporate world and being in a tech industry, there's a lot of different technologies that are available and opportunities that other companies are looking for people that can, perform these certain duties and these certain tasks, on a contract position. They'll ask if you can work full time. They don't mind if you have another job as long as your other job doesn't mind and it's not a conflict of interest, so I think that's a good thing. I've been taking a lot of, looks around on LinkedIn and, I see those types of positions, being open and available. I see people posting that they are looking for those types of positions and available. Yes, I have a 9 to 5 or I have an 8:30 to 5:30, but I am available, for several hours a week to do X, Y, and Z, type of work. If you know of anyone or if anyone is hiring, please, contact me or reach out to me. Also, there's, several people that I know that, have taken a liking to the real estate industry and the real estate market and what that's doing and what it can do for you, in terms of financial security and things like that. And there's more and more people that are getting involved in that. I don't know much about trading and day trading and stocks and things like that. My husband is getting a little more into that, than I am, and he's trying to educate me and school me on what's what. And he's like, nope, nope, we're gonna hold, we're gonna wait, we're gonna hold, we're gonna wait. And I'm like, all right, whatever that means. But I'm learning. There is a podcaster that talks
And
about
I
day
think
trading.
I mean, learning how to market to me is the key.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, just you're going to need that anyway
yeah.
with whatever business you're trying to have on the side.
Hmm.
If it's either like full time or on the side,
Right.
real estate is one of those that people that I know, they do real estate on the side.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it can definitely, and like I was stating, I'm learning so much now, because I am on to a new business adventure.
Right.
And so I want to like invest I know I'm going to have to invest my money in different things.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But right now working a 9 to 5, that is helping me because I figure, hey, I can take this money and, invest it in my own business.
Right.
And I mean, y'all, we can figure out a damn way to
Right.
start our
Right.
own business.
Right.
Like, you need your own stream of income. And
Right.
like a lot of, like a person that I really care about always say is like, we're making other people rich while we are just what? Just living
Just
paycheck
living
to paycheck,
paycheck and
which is we
existing.
can be
Yes.
investing in ourselves as well. Um, Figure out how to talk to people, network, read YouTube. Like, I love YouTube. I love it. We're on YouTube. But I love YouTube because I get to watch, other people share their experiences and how far they've come, and like you're doing now, tips and tricks on how to build wealth. And I love it. I love watching it. I'm paying attention. I'm going to my class, um, every day on the new stuff that I have going on, but I'm learning a lot from there. And I like it. I really do. And I like helping people too.
Yes, you have always been someone that's liked to, help people and enjoy helping people, finding solutions, finding answers, and whenever you have good information, you always pass it on, and that's something that I always appreciate and I always value. So the last little tip and little trick that I have, in it's about credit. It's in terms of your credit. A lot of people get concerned and they get worried about their credit and their credit score. And you might subscribe to these different things like Credit Karma or Experian Plus or some of these other apps that claim to be giving you your credit score, but they're not really giving you your true FICO score. And your FICO score is really what companies use in terms of their lending. There's a scoring model that they use when it comes down to auto loans, and there is a scoring model that they use when it comes down to, buying a home, as well as a scoring model that they use for credit cards. So if you are someone that makes, let's just say, I'm just going to throw out a number here. Let's say you make $50,000 a year, right? And you have a $5,000 credit card and you have a $15,000 car loan. I'm just throwing out some numbers here. So, all in all, you have your total amount of debt is the $15,000 you owe in your car and the $5,000 that you owe on your credit card. So that's $20,000 worth of debt. Your income is $50,000. So already your debt to income ratio is high. They like for your debt to income ratio to be less than 15%. 10% is probably the more preferable amount. So I know that's difficult for a lot of us, but that's just a quick tip just for you to keep in mind. If you can keep down that debt to income ratio, keep your debts down. I know it's hard because we all got bills and credit cards and car payments and things like that, house payments, rent, and all that kind of stuff. But kind of keep those down. That will help keep your credit score up. But in the event that you're not able to keep that debt to income ratio down, if you are able to make sure that you're making 100% on time payments, that's another good thing that's going to help your credit. Even better, if you have a credit card, let's say that balance is $5,000. If you're in position to pay off your credit card balance to get it to a zero balance and have that report to the credit bureau, that'll boost your credit score by almost 100 points.
And that is the perfect time to get an LLC.
Yep,
LLC equals great credit,
yep,
business stacking, business what is called stacking access or
yes,
something.
yes,
Okay, so what I wanted to say about that is once you do your business and you do an LLC, perfect time if you have great credit and you have paid it off and your credit score goes up, boom, perfect time to get a loan for that business.
yep,
Most of them will give you up to
yep,
$250,000 for a business loan.
yep.
So you could use that money to
To
start.
invest. Yep,
We could start our own business with that.
yep, yep.
So why use our own money?
Why use
We
our
can
own
use
money?
credit to generate money. Okay,
Absolutely. Yep.
so good credit is definitely equals good cash flow.
Good cash flow, good opportunity, and good
And
availability to be
make
able to make more money
yeah,
and not be using your own.
and good credit card usage, like you said, will boost it up. So go
Yep.
ahead and apply and don't wait because that is the perfect time to get a business going.
Yep.
And we miss that
Yep.
sometimes.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
could truly say that I miss that.
Yep.
So that's why I'm trying to be debt clear now. And I'm working towards that because now I know, and with the knowledge that I have, I can do a lot more.
Right.
So definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that is my take, my little bit of nuggets of information to kind of drop on you guys to give you something to think about, give you something if you were considering moving towards, establishing another goal for yourself. I mean, I say go ahead and do it. There's no time like the present. Of course, don't make any moves unless you're absolutely ready to. But if it's something that you were thinking about and wondering if it's possible, if you can get it done, the answer is absolutely
You
yes.
can. You
You
can.
absolutely yes can get it done. And like Dominique was saying, there's lots of resources and things that are out there. YouTube is great. There's tons and tons of videos on how to get started with trading, how to get started in how to get an LLC, how to get business credit, how to improve your credit, if you're trying to buy a house and get a mortgage, things that you need to have in order so that you're ready, for that mortgage application and to get approved for that mortgage loan so you can buy the house of your dreams and not have to start off with,
Absolutely.
something that you're less than thrilled with, but you want to just go ahead and get into it because you want to get a mortgage on your credit report. So
And you
pay
know what?
attention.
Some people fantasize about money,
Yeah.
but don't know how to handle it. I was
Yep.
one of those.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, making more money and creating side hustles is my take right now. That's where
That's
I'm at,
it. Yep.
and it's where it's at.
That's
It's
where
where
it's
it's
at.
at.
It's 100% where it's at. Making money, side hustles, letting the 9 to 5, cover your
Yeah.
bases, but putting yourself in position to let the
And make sure
other
you're
other
paying
coins
yourself
flows.
first.
Pay yourself first.
Because a lot of people
Absolutely.
say, well, I'm going to pay my bills and then whatever is left over
Nah,
is for me. No,
nah.
make sure you're a bill too.
Yeah, pay
I learned
yourself
that too.
first. Yeah, pay
Don't count
yourself.
yourself short.
Absolutely. Pay yourself. That is great advice. We will end on that note. Until next week, when we have another fabulous conversation with you guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Make sure you continue to check
Thank
us out
you.
in the chat on Facebook, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye bye.
Peace out, y'all.